Namaskar, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here with you, the participants from all over the India, the senior persons from the Gujarat and other different university of the Gujarat, and the young entrepreneurs, budding scientists, technocrats. All previous speakers, they described all related things with the startup, innovation, and the topic given to me, that is the building university innovation ecosystem. So what can university build an ecosystem? So dear delegates, in the last few years, under the leadership of our Prime Minister, has taken some wonderful initiative to foster the inclusive innovation ecosystem in the country by bringing together the grassroots innovators, technology, students, academia and industry. We have seen the presentation of the Sunita ji from Niti Aayog, and from Atal Mission, Ramnathan ji. That number of steps were taken by the government to have a strong ecosystem for the innovation. And our is a very large nation, even 60–70% population living in the rural area. There are a lot of problems faced by the rural peoples, farmers, businessmen, students, number of problems faced by India. And technology, that is the helping hand to solve this problem. So, initiative taken by the ICT also, by having a hackathon. Then next year it will be a big hackathon with a large number of participation from the 22 states and the ministry, more than 50 ministries problems. So, a number of steps were taken to solve the problems. So the challenges for the scientific community was in moving from low cost technology to the ultra low cost, and from incremental innovation to the disruptive innovations. If this happened, the products and services could be reached to the masses in not just affordable but extremely affordable cost. It would be empower the masses. Now, well, is India's innovation ecosystem performing today? According to the Global Innovation Index, WIPO 2014, India ranks 76th among the 143 countries, that is by the one survey. Means, as far as the ecosystem, this is the position of the 2014 of the India, we are very, very far behind compared to the other nations. In spite of a large national innovation system, the current performance of the Indian innovation ecosystem appears weak. One may speculate that the reason for the poor performance may be related to the fragmentation and the lack of focus. So there is no integration. The academia is on another side, the government policy is on another side. There may be no integration. That is the major problem, and that's why previously we know that one fellow, Ashok Junjunwala, he is from IIT Madras. He developed one wireless local loop technology, but it got implemented in Madagascar, not in India. One pharmaceutical company in Gujarat, Piramal Life Science, he developed one medicine for the psoriasis, but it is commercialized first in Western countries, not in India. So why do we fail to complete the journey from the mind to the marketplace in India? Simply because India lacks a robust national innovation ecosystem. The essential elements of a powerful ecosystem comprise the physical, intellectual and cultural constructs. So that is the situation. Even as far as the education is concerned, we have non-conductive education system. Our chairman Anilji has rightly said in the morning that the spirit of innovation is skills in our education institutes of the students. Students are very enthusiastic, but their ideas, it is not goes further with the situation prevailing in the institution. So general education system is still too focused on grades and careers and is not oriented toward the innovation and entrepreneurship. This situation is further worsened by the inherent problem of lack of infrastructure and good facility in the educational institutes. So this is the situation of the academic institutes. No doubt now the government has taken number of steps, central government has taken steps, the Gujarat government has taken number of steps. The SSIP policy is framed by the government of Gujarat, and no doubt it will be a turning point in the education institutes for this, particularly to boosting this ecosystem in the state of Gujarat. So, have a very sound ecosystem, perfect ecosystem at the university level is required. Now the university may be of a different type. Either it may be a conventional university having number of affiliated colleges, or a small university, means they say one campus. So as far as the single campus university like a central university or IIT like institutes, it is somewhat easy. But for a conventional university, when there are number of affiliated colleges, how to leverage, how to develop an ecosystem at a different colleges, that is the major problems. So, no doubt the GTU having such type of the affiliated type of the university, having more than 450 colleges, and we have developed gradually the ecosystem in the different colleges. Now, how to develop the ecosystem as far as the university is concerned. So these are the 4 steps: the exposure, the idea and innovation, startup and scale up. So initially, we have to reach the students' mass. It means every student that may be sensitized for this, our problems, what students can do, number of. So it may be sensitized by the seminar, conference. We have created the Shankuls, means the cluster of industries, their interaction with the students. The workshop for entrepreneurship, training, seminars, the sectoral innovation council and skill council. There are a number of different industries. So the industry wise, the sector wise innovation and the skill council, their interaction. Students should be motivated to participate in all such activities. For that, we have made one important things, that 100-point activities. It is a first university in Gujarat, I think in India also, that we have identified the 100 different activities. Either it is a workshop, seminar, training, participation, writing research papers, number of activities identified, and their points were fixed. So student has to gain 100 points before getting the degree. So in their 4 years, he has to participate in all such activities. And when he get this total 100 points, then and then he is eligible for getting the certificates. He is eligible for getting the degree. So this is one type of motivation to the students to participate in all such activities. The students, those who are participate, there may be appreciation by by the fellowships, by the associationship, the projects fair, the project monitoring and management system we have developed, the TAC Fest, the MAC Fest, local level, zonal level, the state level, university level, we have arranged. So all different activities. It is important for the initial steps. So it will sensitize the students. We have also introduced a book course on entrepreneurship. So all this thing, it will, the creativity will start, the different idea will be start in their mind of the students. The Shodh Yatra, it's also very important program that students are moving from industry to industry. They are getting problem of the industry. So industry define problems and users define problems. So the different idea, but he will get some direction for their ideas. The design demo day, we have the open design schools. There it is more buffing up that ideas. Industrial workshop, then project to the product, development of postgraduate diploma course, pedagogical intervention for the innovations like the 100 points program or other interventions, and early stage funding. So that is also by the university. So it will generate the idea, it will shape the idea. Second thing, the intellectual property rights, that is also very, very important. Our students, our technocrats, they are not aware of all this IPR. So we have developed at GTU a very strong IPR cell. Students are trained before their problems identifying. They are searching the different patents, search by one, we have purchased one software, very costly software which industry are using. So students are trained on their software. We have patent planning, patent drafting exercise. Number of steps we have taken, because when the students are sensitized, but the staff is also required, faculty are also required to be sensitized. So about 7,000 faculties were trained under this IPR cell. The courses on this IPR, even recently the second batch we have launched, and all over the India students were registered for this IPR course. Fab Lab. Now what happened actually in our colleges, universities, most of the colleges, they don't have Fab Lab. So suppose any students have any idea, he has to move from one place to another place, and it is a costly affairs and time consuming affairs. So university or the colleges, for developing the ecosystem, they have very good Fab Lab is required, having all these 3D printers and other facilities there to develop a small scale models, Robocone and the motorsports, all this type of the competition. They are also very, very school students are inspired to participate in these competitions. The sensor lab, that is also required for technical students. So by all these activities, now there is some shape, and students, their idea is now in a right direction to get a startup. So when a number of startups is there, so every students or every persons, they require a different type of the facilities. So decentralized incubation, then industrial market linkage is also, because he is a technically identified the problems, make it visible by all this other training. But the market linkage is very, very important. Either it is visible in the market, it is accepted in the market, everything to be important. The idea, the proof of concept, that is also required with the discussion with the entrepreneurs, with the technocrats, with the experts, the market validation. Suppose the product is ready, but either it is okay with the market, market will be accepted by property, by their price, number of things to be considered. Other regulations with the financial matters. Then the formation of company, that is also very, very important. Students has to be guided for that, how to file the patent, then the prototype development assistant. So on the initial stage, mentoring and funding support. Now the support by the government of Gujarat, by the support by the Ministry of Industry, and also some central scheme is also there for the startup support. Then this technology business incubator by the Department of Science and Technology. We have the first university here in Gujarat having this TBI. Then the entrepreneur in residence program. This is also very, very important for a new startup. Then market research, competitors analysis, angel funding. Initially, the funding in lakhs are required, and then the scale up. So the product is ready, but it is to be pitched with the successful entrepreneur, that either it is okay with the large scale, their audit matters, financial matters, policy supports, regulatory frameworks. Now suppose there is a GST and other things. So all these things is required to be known by, and then he will be ready for a large scale, and he can also ready for the IPO. So in short, the Gujarat Technological University have taken the different steps since the establishment. No doubt the words this innovation, startup, scale up, they are very, very common nowadays, but the university we have thus established the Innovation Council in 2010. Gradually the other steps we have taken, we have the IPR cell, then the student startup support system, that is in 2012, then co-creation center, then community innovation and co-creation center has been also working since 2013. GTU got the approval for full-fledged technology business incubators center by the Government of India under the Department of Science and Technology, launched the 100 points activity, initiated the startup boom, the wide-scale startup literacy among the students at early stage. AICT took the notice of the student startup efforts of the GTU and making efforts to scale such grassroots activities across the nation from academic year 2016-17 to start with, and the first university incubator as a nodal institute to provide the seed fund to the student startup. So to establish the good ecosystem, a strong ecosystem, robust ecosystem at the institutes level, at the university level is very, very important, because in all over the world, the academic institutes plays important role. Suppose in MIT, so MIT, there are 32,000 startups registered with one university, MIT in US. So you see that what is the contribution of the academic institutes or the university. And there are a lot of hopes on the talent of Indian talents. Even the Bill Gates, when came to the Niti Aayog, he said the world is looking to India not just to solve its problem, but to address the global challenges through the innovation. So that is the faith in Indian talents, and for that academia or the university has to play the important role. So this topic is very, very important today for this vibrant situation of the India, Gujarat. So thank you very much for interacting with me. Thank you.